guys, welcome back. This is the Epic Morning Show. They come to you live here on Epic Radio 99.3 FM. Drop away message on 079 or drop we a message on our Facebook page in the Eastern of Freetown. We're also live now on Choice FM. So this morning, we start relationship week and we are discussing the factors people should consider before entering into a relationship. In the studio too, we get Mr. Brown. Good morning, Mr. Brown.
Good morning.
All right, so we are happy to have you here, and let's go straight into our discussion for this morning. So, in your experience as a person, are there general factors we should all consider? Because I'm thinking the factors men might consider might be different from the factors women might consider before entering into a relationship.
Very true. Yes, there are quite a number of factors we should consider before entering into a relationship. Well, over the years, I think we have ignored most of these factors, and it's become quite detrimental to our relationships. I quite remember earlier before now, parents would recommend a particular person for their children or to their children. I think this person has a good character. He or she will make a good wife or husband. And if you consider the divorce rate, even at that time to now, the difference is vast. At the time where we said civilization has taken over, and so we are sensible enough to make our own choices, we end up making a lot of mistakes. Because you see, the lens that our elderly folks look through to see the characters of these people, most often the youth go into relationships with their emotions and feelings. I feel attracted to this person, therefore that's the right person for me. But there are lots of factors to consider.
I mean, isn't love itself based on that feeling, that attraction? Should that not be enough?
Love, over the years, I've come to understand that love is not just feelings. There is what you call infatuation. It is needed to start a relationship. And there is also what you call love. Love is basically what I think and feel about this person. Not necessarily the emotional feeling, but I have considered this person and I've seen his flaws, his weaknesses and all, and I'm ready to bear. Infatuation is actually the feeling you have for the person, and most often this feeling dies out as you go along in a relationship. When you come to know all your weaknesses and your flaws, usually you start having issues in relationships because there was not really love, it was more of infatuation. So when you start seeing the flaws of the person, you start pulling off. But love has hope. Love is kind. Love hopes for the better. So love stays in there and tries to fix one or two. If he comes to the point that, look, there is nothing I can do about this, you take a step back. That love has worked. And you don't move away having some hatred and bitterness, but you considered one or two and say, look, this is not okay for me. So let me reconsider.
Earlier on, you spoke about how much role parents played back in the days to selecting partners for people. And a lot of us will say now the society has evolved in a way to us young people making our own choices. That in itself should be a good thing, isn't it?
Well, it's a good thing. However, I've also come to understand that the things, okay, these are little things you consider. If you remember when you were in class 2 or class 3, the assignment that seemed so difficult to you, in class 5, when you look back at that assignment, it looks quite easy. Why? Because you've gained a lot of experience and knowledge along the line. That makes that problem quite easy for you. Okay, that comes to play when an elderly person, you pass your relationship through the lens of an elderly person who is wise. I quite remember one of my brothers, brought a lady home to my parents and said, I want to marry this woman. My parents were quite nice to the person. When she left, my dad called my brother back and said, "This is not the kind of woman for you." Well, I love you, I love her. She's this, she's that, she's this, she's that. But what did my father and my mother see to outrightly
Dismiss her.
good? Down the line, they've parted ways. You understand it? He was intelligent, he was educated enough. He had his degree and and others, and he's well educated. He's also respected in society, but he couldn't see this particular thing because he was so much in love, in quotes. So yes, there are factors to consider.
Let's
before.
now go down to those factors. What would you say, let's start with men, that they should consider? Because these days, a lot of us, point number one, is she beautiful? That's point number one for us. Let's start with beauty. How significant a role should beauty play? Is he cute? Is she beautiful? I mean, is this really important?
I would say beauty is very important. And let me state once again, this is a cliche. Beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. The lady, the plus size lady, will be very beautiful to a particular guy and not to another guy. A guy may go for the cute girl and would not like to go for the plus size because that's his preference. So beauty is very necessary. You must be pleased with the look of the person you say you love or you want to settle down with for the rest of your life. Because look, however you see it, there are lots of people, women out there, all kinds of shapes and sizes. If you are not pleased in the little way, the one you have, it will be a difficult problem for you. Yes, so it's very, very necessary. You see, I must cherish my wife. Number one, when I look at her, I have to be able to say, wow, this is the bone of my bone and the flesh of my flesh. So if in my mind, when I look at my wife, I am trying to change certain things about her, and then the next moment I tell her, look, don't you think this your size? You have to do something about it. You start attacking the personality of the person. That person's ego begins to dwindle because, oh, the man I think I love so much is not pleased with who I am. So it affects the person's self-esteem. So yes, beauty is really, really necessary.
And with beauty, take for example with body size, you've seen people. The guy was cute, well in shape before they married, and the moment they get into a relationship, they are successful. 2 3 years down the line, he has a pot belly, he's obese, and they gradually fall out of love with each other.
You see, I narrowed beauty to physical look, but beauty goes way beyond physical look. It goes way beyond physical look. When I was little, there was this guy who lived in my house. And there was this beautiful lady, as in physically beautiful lady, who would come looking for him. And he would jump the wall and tell the boys, tell that lady I'm not around. And I was wondering, which guy would be running away from such a pretty lady? But the lady he truly loves was not that pleasing to my eye. But when the lady comes around, he becomes jittery, he's running all over the place trying to fix things and all. So love goes beyond just the physical look. Sometimes it will shock you, it's just a smile of a lady. The beauty, not the beauty of a lady. Sometimes just the physical, the smile. Sometimes how she walks. Sometimes just the leg and others. Yes, it matters. Now, to your question. You see, there is something that happens to humans as we grow in age. Through all the vicissitudes of life and all the, up and downs and the learnings, we mature. So yes, as a young man, the criteria, the markers you have to choose a loved one. As you grow, they change. The lady who is 20 years old is looking for the guy with the six pack, the tall guy, either the fair or the chocolate color guy. When she is 32 years old, you realize that now she's looking for the responsible guy, the hardworking guy, the loving guy, the guy who is ready to come home to take care of his family. So these
Priorities
markets
change.
they change.
Okay.
So yes, the beauty also counts. Beauty with character. You know what men want. Man, what love is to a woman, respect is to a man. When you respect a man, he becomes the lord of his home. There are these factors about men. A man loves the person who is under him. He respects the person who is above him, whether a woman or a man. But he heckles or fights the one who tries to equate, or the one who tries to be pair or parity with him. The one who forces parity with him. Okay. You heckle like, I'm like, we are all men. That is why you enter into a home where the woman disrespects the man. He is often not at home because he takes his peace away. What women want, as you said, differs from what men want. So if the man is looking for respect and he equates respect as love, but unfortunately, the youth have still not come to that conclusion that this is what makes a man happy. So you think you can cook for him, you can brook for him, but you disrespect him. And he's still not appreciative of you. You respect him, you don't cook for him, you don't brook for him, and he's all over heels for you, head over heels for you. Because he feels like a king in his home. So now, if you have to, let me not go ahead of you.
No, it's okay.
If you have to consider some of these things to choose to enter into a relationship, the man, number one, I would advise that you first consider yourself. Who am I? What do I need? What am I looking for? Am I ready for a relationship? Or am I just looking for a sex partner? Excuse my language. Am I looking for somebody to do mommy and daddy business with? Or I'm looking for a long-term relationship, something that will lead into marriage. Now, let me take out everything, because there are lots of reasons why people enter into relationships. Some go for subsistence. When I say subsistence, we don't have anything at home. We are poor. This man say, let me. I don't let come that much, but let try and see if
Something
let tap to him. Let tap to him first, because he go take care of me. He go take care of me, mama, and me brother them, me siblings them. So this is one thing he has considered. She considers before entering into that relationship. If that relationship transcends into marriage, there will be problems, because there is something about women. A woman must truly love you to sacrifice for you. Love is sacrifice. Love is sacrifice. If she doesn't truly love you, but she came to you because of, number one, the things you give her, or the definition of an ideal guy. He's tall, he has six packs and everything, so he's okay. When all these things fizzle out, the very thing that makes her love you, that essence, if it's not there, that woman can tell you any nonsense and she will not feel bad about it. But when she respects you, she would think twice. Also, make sure, if you are a man, make sure that the woman you want to date looks up to you. Because today you will look at economy and say, well, I need a woman who will also bring in something on the table. Look, what a man needs a woman to bring on the table is different from what a woman needs a man to bring on the table. For a responsible man, a true responsible man, he wants a woman who can man the fort when he is out there on the battlefield. When you come home, if you are a male alpha, there are a lot of things I would have loved to explain here. If you don't have the fear of God, I'm telling you this. As there is the physical, there is the spiritual. You will marry the good person, but the external forces, those spiritual forces, they will fight you till you fall. Only God can save any relationship. the guarantee to any successful relationship is the fear of God. I'm not talking of religious people, because you can have people going to church every day, praying every day, 5 times a day and all, but they don't fear God. They can easily fornicate, they can easily cheat and all. I'm talking of a God-fearing person. You say, I want to do this thing, but for the fear of God. For the fear of God. This is what I have used all my life. I met my wife 10 years ago. Not since I married her, since I saw her, I've never considered any other woman. Because I love her and I fear God. And I thank God for the kind of wife he gave me. And I don't want to waste it, I don't want to lose it. So I respect and I fear God to keep it true. And it's been smooth.
I know she must be listening this morning and she's very proud of you. Thank you very much, Mr. George Brown.